Hi guys, it's Talia, and you're watching the Netlogo tag series on YouTube. Maybe on YouTube. I don't know where you're watching it from, but wherever. Um, Last time we managed to set up our agents, get them in place. You can see that here, over here. And today we're going to get them to run around. Okay? Okay. And I think we did this. So these are our rules of tag, and I think we did the first one, so we're going to mark that done. And now we need to figure out the individual code and figure out how we're going to make the chaser catch a newt chaser. Yes. Okay. Okay. So in our Netlogo, we're going to go look at our code, and we're going to make a new method called toGo. Really simple. And in that, we're going to have an if statement. So we're going to say if chaser equals true, then we're going to run one kind of code, and then we're going to have else. I guess we need to put the else up here. Else. And then here is else. Here's our else. Our else is down here. So, if we are the chaser, then I'm going to expand this a little bit. Okay. Chaser rules in here. So, what we need to do in order to find that is figure out who's closest, right? And 2, orient towards them. And 3 is move forward, right? Yeah. Okay, and while we're in here, let's do this. 2, figure out which runner. That's kind of important. Not anybody, but the runner who's closest. So this one is actually 1, figure out which chaser is closest. 2 is orient away from them. And 3 is move forward, right? Okay, so let's see. We're going to actually just make this pretty simple. Our go procedure is going to be pretty simple. So if you're the chaser, you're going to chase. And if you're the runner, if you're not the chaser, you're going to run away. Yeah. Oh, and the reason we're not calling this run is because run is a native. So we can't use that. We have to make something else. Okie dokie. And because this looks really messy, I'm going to just make it a little bit cleaner looking. There we go. There we go. I think that's right. And it's going to tell us. There we go. Check. Nope. We need an equal sign in there. Maybe? There we go. So as soon as this comes up, nothing named chase, that means we got this right. So if else chaser equals true, chase. So we need a procedure to chase. And in that procedure, what I like to do is I like to actually just copy my comments and paste them in the code as comments. Sorry. So we're going to, comment is a semicolon. So we're going to tab and semicolon. So how do we figure out which runner is closest? We say we're going to use our variable that we set up last time, the one called chasing. Set chasing. And we're going to set it to, let's see, just to keep it straight. I don't think we need the parentheses, but I like to have them. So set chasing will be min 1 of turtles sorry, this is kind of logic-y here, but min 1 of turtles with chaser equals false. And I think this needs to be in square brackets. And min 1 of turtles with chaser equals false. So that's our subset. And min 1 of those with distance myself. Pretty sure. Okay. So this looks like it's making sense to the program at least. There's a nifty little check button up here that tells you the next thing that's wrong with your code. We're actually going to get rid of that for a second just so we can check the whole thing. Right. There we go. So what we're doing is, you remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses always go first, pretty much. So our first parenthesis set is in here, and our second parentheses set is here. So this is the bit that goes first. So first, we get all of the turtles that are not chasers. That's this parameter. And then, once we have that list, from that list, we say, who is the one with the least amount of distance from myself? Min 1 of distance myself. It's a little confusing to look at, but once you get it, you get it. I hope that's true. Anyway, so once we have that variable, what we're going to do is we're going to orient towards them, which means we're going to use face. It's really pretty simple. Face chasing. And then we're going to move forward. So that's actually just a forward 1. Let's type that out. Forward 1. I try not to use the shortcuts. It's easier to read if you just use the whole command. It's not as fast to type. I'm sorry. It's a few extra characters. Get over it. So now we're going to check that and make sure everything looks okay. Yep. I'm going to separate these maybe a little bit just so it looks right. Yeah, okay. Check. And then we're going to put runaway back in here. Run away. And that's our next issue. So next we need to run away. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put an end on there first so we don't forget. End. And in here, we're going to copy and paste our little algorithm notes. So we're going to copy this code because it's exactly the same except backwards. So instead of chaser is false, it's chaser is true because we want to find the nearest person who is chasing us, right? So that's the person who's chasing us. And we're going to, first we're going to orient towards them. Yeah. And then we're going to turn, we're gonna right. It's not called turn, it's called right. Right 180 degrees. Because that puts us facing exactly the opposite direction of the chaser. And then we're going to move forward. So forward 1. And I can spot an issue with this. I wonder if anybody else can yet. But just spacing things out a little bit. That makes sense, right? Okay, check. Interface. And in our code, our Go code is only ever run by turtles. So we're going to hit turtles in our little observer thing, and we're going to go. See how they all orient away from the chaser? And go. And this one has decided, it looks like, sorry, I'm pointing at my screen, which you can't see, but see how they've all oriented away from this chaser guy? And this chaser seems to have oriented towards this one, who I guess he determined was the closest runner. So we're going to hit go again, and go, and it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And see how they wrap around? And this is very, very slow, but it is what it is for right now. Okay, so that's that. And we need one more thing. We need a procedure for catching, right? So we did that, so we're going to mark it blue. We did that, so we're going to mark it blue. Actually, all of this, we're just going to mark blue. Blue, because it's done. And we're getting it to run the individual code. So now we just need to figure out how to catch something. So we are going to after we chase somebody, we're going to check if we catch them. So we're going to say catch. That's right, okay. Sorry, I hate spacing that looks weird, so I like to fix it. There we go. There we go. That's right. Okay, so for the chaser, yeah, well, we could run it from the runner, but I think we just want to run it from the chaser. Yeah, we don't want to run it from both. That wouldn't make any sense. And also, after they run away, they're obviously one step ahead, so that wouldn't work. The logic is working in my brain. It's not quite coming out of my words, but we want to run it in the chaser, and there's a good reason for that, because if you just ran away from somebody, you've just moved out of their space, which means that you will never ever be in their space for them to catch. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so after chase, we're going to catch. And end at the bottom. So the first thing we need is, we're going to copy this in, comment it out. We don't need those arrows, do we? Failing. Okay, must be in the same space. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to check if there's anybody in our space. So if any, and it's actually really simple. It's just turtles here. If any turtles here, and then we run some code, right? If any turtles here, and actually these go inside of there, don't they? Okay. if any turtles here, the first thing we do is set sorry, I'm thinking. We're going to set chaser, our own chaser variable, to false. We are going to ask our new chaser, the person we just caught, who should be chasing, right? We're going to ask chasing. Actually, we're going to ask one of turtles here, because I don't know for sure that the one they're chasing is the one that's in the same space. Okay, one of turtles here. And the reason we're using ask and not just set is because this code is actually run by a particular agent, the one who's chasing. And since that's not us, we have to ask someone else to do it for us. So ask one of turtles here set chasing chaser true, and also set colors. I forgot about that. Set color red, and this one should be set color green, right? Okie dokie. And I think that's about it. Because now, once that happens, on the next run of Go, or maybe before, I don't know, on the next time that any of this code is run, it will choose whichever one it needs. That sounds roundabout and weird, and I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense. I think that's about it. Check. Thank you. But let's see. Observer, we're going to set up again. And we're going to go turtles, and we're going to go. And we're just going to do that a whole bunch. See how it's chasing that guy? Except I have, oh look, it switched. See how it switched direction? That means it caught its prey there. So, oh, no. And it caught again. Oh, except it's just those two, so we have some problems. Anyway, in the next round, it does look kind of like it's working. There are some bugs we have to deal with, like this clump down here is kind of wacky, and it's only these two who seem to be playing, really, so we got to fix some of that issue. The other thing we got to do next time, what we're doing is we're going to add some buttons to make this easier to run, so we don't have to hit the up button. We don't have to use this line. We can add some buttons. That's next time. See you next week. Bye.